Hey, what's up, YouTube? It is Melanie back with Melanie Loves Death Metal, and happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. This is going up on Wednesday. I'm not going to post any more videos for the rest of the week. Thursday, we're hosting Thanksgiving, and we have family coming over, so I'm going to be busy all day. And then Friday, I'm going to take a little break from recording some videos and go shopping and do all the things that people do on Black Friday that I despise, but I'm going to do it anyway because there's a lot of things I want to get for my music collection. There's a lot of cool sales going to be happening, and I think my local record store, they do like this huge Black Friday thing, and he puts out a tent and discounts tons of records. So I usually just go like digging, trying to find some stuff. But today I am very thankful for death metal. That is what I am thankful for this year, obviously. And I've got 4 records here. 2 of them I ordered back in June, and they just came here yesterday. And then the other one was delayed a little bit, but I'm super excited that I have it now. And then the other one, it's a new release, and it came out pretty quick. But yeah, 4 of my all-time favorite albums this year, too. 2 of them came out a lot earlier this year, and they've been on my list of favorite albums so far. Have not left it, but the other 2 are recent additions. So yeah, the year-end list is ramping up, and like I said, I'm going to do a year-end list, but I'm going to just show off my favorite releases and then probably do like a top, like this is my all-time favorite death metal album, this is my all-time favorite black metal album for the year, and that's it. Not rank them all or anything like that because it's too much work, but let's go ahead and get started. Let me grab them really quick. So I ordered this back in June, and they were both pre-orders. I did one order together because shipping was atrocious for one record, and it said that they were going to be like 2 weeks apart from each other in terms of release and when they would be available from the pressing plant. I was like, you know what? I'll just do them both in order. Well, they got severely delayed because I guess there's a lot of delays out over in the pressing plants, over in the European pressing plants. So it got severely delayed, and then when they finally shipped it, it took a month to get here. And what I'm talking about is a releases from Everlasting Spew. So Everlasting Spew is out in Italy, and they released 2 of my favorite records this year, and one of them is, this one came out, oh man, it was pretty early in the year. It was January 20th, so this was a January release, but they finally pressed it on vinyl, and this is Nothingness with Supraliminal, I think is how you say it. There's a sticker in the... I left the sticker in the poly bag. So yeah, this has been one of my favorite releases this year. Ever since it came out back in January, I still listen to it all the time. I bought the CDs and showed them off before. That was to hold me over. But this has been on order since June. This is like, we're talking COVID pre-order time frame here. I was starting to think I was never going to see these records. But they're finally in, and they look fantastic. So I love this album. It's great. This band is out of Minnesota, and they only have 2 albums out. This is their second full length. The other one's called The Hollow Gaze of Death. That's been circling around. I've been seeing it for sale and easy to find. I think Meteor Gem actually has a copy of it, so I got to pick it up. That's a pretty good album. But this is really good death metal. It's got a little bit more of that. It almost feels a little bit death grindy at times, but I think it's more death metal than anything. But it's a really good album. This has been one that I've liked since the very beginning of the year and still listen to. A really cool splatter. This was limited to 150. Everlasting Spew limits their color editions, like super limits them, and I don't think they ever reissue them either. And then there is a black copy too. But I picked this up. So yeah, this is called the Creation variant. So the hype sticker, as I always like to read it, Nothingness is crushing, dissonant, and atmospheric death metal. Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah, that's pretty much that's a good way of saying it. I love their logo too. So this is it's fantastic. I've been sending this to everybody this year. Hey, check this out. Listen to this. Metal Twitter was on this. Like, so many people shared it on Metal Twitter, which made me happy to see. I think this sold out relatively quick, but you can get it on CD. I know there's a tape. The black vinyls are floating around. So Meteor Gem, check them out. They usually get Everlasting Spew titles in terms of their vinyl, but Indie Merch and Night Shift Merch are also the distro for Everlasting Spew. I know they have the CDs and the tapes most of the time. So the next one from Everlasting Spew is some gore grind, which I'm surprised that I like this as much, because like I said, gore grind is a very hit or miss genre for me. But you're going to see the album cover and assume it's a Carcass album, which there's definitely Carcass influence on this, and this is FesterDecay. This is another one of my favorite records to come out this year. Reality Rotten to the Core is what it's called. This is their first full length. They only have demos and splits and a comp out before this. The band is from Japan, so we got Japanese gore grind. This one has been on an endless loop, and this came out relatively early in the year as well. It was February 24th, so these were a month apart from each other. I think this is ultimately what caused a little bit of the delay, because this one wasn't ready from the plant yet. I'll show off the record first. It looks awesome. They turned out really, really nice. And here's the other side. So yeah, this is gore grind, but this is gore grind in a fashion that I really enjoy, because it's not so gore grindy, if you know what I mean. It's definitely more grindcore sounding than most gore grind albums I listen to. And I really, really like this album. This is definitely one of my favorite albums to come out this year. Here's the back. Pathological Stench Gore Grind. There you go. And then printed inner sheet has some nice collaging going on here. And then over here, there you go. Oh, and that swastika is saying destroy fascism, so please don't assume this is an NSPM gore grind fan. That'd be something. I don't think those exist, do they? Probably not. Hype sticker says the first full-length album of the sickest pathological stench gore grind band from Japan. Play extremely loud, 14 tracks for fans of Carcass, Dead Infection, Six Sinus Syndrome, Pharmacist, and a digital download is included, which it is. I used it, so otherwise I would hold it up and say, here, it's yours. But yeah, I would say Carcass for sure. Pharmacist is definitely a good indication of what this sounds like. So again, another fantastic release. One of my favorite ones to come out this year. Check this out. Links are always in the description. Okay, now I'm gonna save my favorite for last. The next one is I got this in $20 spin. Did a review on this, the new Vastum. Fantastic album. This has grown on me a ton since I've listened to this. When I did my review, I think I listened to it about 5 times, and since then it's been probably like 10 more times. Their 5th full-length album. The band is from, I think, out in California. I think they're from the West Coast. Just fantastic record. I already talked about this. I'm not going to go into extreme detail about the music, because I already dedicated a whole video to it. You can go back and find it. It was fairly recent. So awesome, like splatter merge. There you go. This is still available. These are not sold out. Actually, I don't think the B1 variants, that $20 spin, that's how they label them. I don't think this is sold out yet either, so get on this. More and more people are starting to talk about it, which makes me happy. It's a fantastic record. I don't know what Angry Metal Guy was talking about. Okay, first of all, Angry Metal Guy pretty much hates everything. This year they've been more on par with what I, like my opinions on music, but they're pretty strict about their rating, and they gave this a 2 out of 4 or 2.5 out of 4, whatever. It's better than that, so form your own opinion, but I just read it because I was curious to see what they had to say about it. I don't generally read them a lot, but if it's something that I'm interested to see what they have to say because I like it a lot, I'll go read the reviews, and most of the time I'm just like, why did I read this? I'm not a huge review fan. It's funny because I do reviews, but I tend to not let other reviews sway my opinion. So fantastic album. Check this out. So good. One of the best to come out this year by far. It's grown on me so much over the last several weeks since it's been out. Okay, saving the last one. I don't care that people know what my album of the year is already. People have been screaming album of the year at things since January. I have not said anything about what I feel is my album of the year until I heard this. And I've told everybody already, so it's not a secret, but I'll still make a video and talk about it more in depth, just this album. And I've been meaning to do that. I need to do it, but I've been taking my time because I've listened to this almost every single day since it's come out. That's not a lie. I got the promo for it, and I listened to the promo a couple times, and I enjoyed it, but I just wanted to get that whole experience of getting the physical media and listening to it. Well, that was out the window because this got delayed in pressing, and it was out for several weeks before I got this in. So I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to succumb to streaming. And I was listening to I've listened to this every single day, and now that I have it on record, I've been spinning it every single day too. The streaming, it sounds good. Like I pay for the more higher streaming, like HD or whatever. It still sounds good, but just something about playing my physical media is just so much better experience. And what I'm talking about is a new Afterbirth record, In But Not Of. This is their third full length. The band is from New York, and this is brutal death metal in a progressive technical death metal style. It's a very unique album, a very unique band as a whole. If you're not familiar with Afterbirth, I will be 100% honest with you. It is a very acquired taste for some people. It doesn't click with them right away. They think it's kind of quirky. They think it's kind of strange, and they don't often go back to it. I will admit I felt that way when I first heard Four Dimensional Flesh, which was their second album that came out in 2020. That was the first time I ever really got exposed to them. But when I went back and listened to their first album, The Time Traveler's Dilemma, that one clicked a little bit more with me in the beginning. And then I went back to Four Dimensional Flesh, and then it all started to make a little bit more sense. So it's not an easy, digestible listen, to be honest with you. There's a lot of technical, progressive elements in it, not in the vein of like Tumult or Horrendous. They have their own progressive style that is played with brutal death metal. It's brutal death metal gurgles by the phenomenal vocalist, one of my favorite death metal vocalists, Will Smith. And no, not the guy from Men in Black who got bitch slapped Chris Rock. I'm talking about Will Smith, the death metal vocalist, who was also in Artificial Brain, which is another fantastic band. But now I think this is his prominent band, the one that he's focusing the most on. I think I could be wrong about that. But this album is on Willowtip, and the variant that I bought got delayed in pressing because it took them a little bit longer to make the vinyl records. So everybody got theirs before mine. I felt like, here's the gatefold. Inside, I don't think there was a printed inner sheet. No, there wasn't. And just, I love this album. I absolutely love this album. This is my favorite album this year. I have not listened to any other album more than this. I've dissected every single piece of this music, every single song, and just have, every time I find something new about a song that I absolutely love. It's 11 tracks. It's about 40 minutes long, 35 minutes long. So it is a quick listen if you're into it. But like I said, it's not something that people are going to digest right away, I don't think. The guitars are simply stunning. Just one of my all-time favorite parts of this album are the guitars. Just some of my child is playing the Nintendo Switch right now, and he's being loud. What else is new? Anyway, recording when my whole family's home. It's good times. But my favorite song in here is Hovering Human Head Drones. I love that song so goddamn much. But everything is good. From the first track, Tightening the Screws, to the very end track, Succumb to Life. Not a single bad song on here. It is brutal death metal with progressive style, technical death metal guitars and atmosphere. So there's a little bit of atmosphere in here as well. So fantastic album. I'm in love with it. It's so phenomenal. I'm obsessed, and I love the album artwork. I need to get a t-shirt. I need to go back. I'll probably get one this weekend after I get paid. Just so good. And then this ended up being worth the wait. When I took it out of the bag, I was like, the sleeve, I was like, oh, that looks awesome. And it just goes really well with the album. There's the sticker. So yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. I do have other albums that I think, are pretty ranked pretty high with this. But this, I've already donned it as my favorite album this year. It came out October 20th, so this is a late release in the year. And I have not listened to anything else more than this since I've gotten it. It's so good. I love that album artwork. The album artwork is done by Alex Ekman Lawn. So good. And it goes really well with the music of what you're listening to. That album artwork is perfect. So I'm going to dedicate a whole video to this. I might do a collaboration with somebody, or I'm trying to get it figured out by the end of the year. Talk about why it's my favorite album, dissect it, play some song clips, tiny clips, because Willowtip has flagged me for copyright infringement in the past. And just show more love to it, but I wanted to show the record off today. So good stuff. That is all that I have today. Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. If not, just have a great Thursday. And I will see everybody next week, refreshed because I've been off work and grinding out some more content. I'll see you guys in the next one.